Hey people, before we get started this week, I've got a special preview to share with you from the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons podcast, The Dungeon Rats. In it, I play Bellegarde,
a half-orc paladin that has been condemned to an endless magical dungeon for his unspeakable crimes.
While serving his lifetime sentence, he came across a group of misfits who took him in as one of their own. After several misadventures, they found a young halfling who potentially had a way out of the magical prison.
I'm just here to get a merit badge. That's it.
Are you a Boy Scout?
I am.
Why?
Wow.
Why? Yeah, why would you? Why?
No.
Don't you know there are tons of dangers going on in the Boy Scouts of...
Well, technically, I'm a half scout.
Right. But
Thank you.
Do you have a Boy Scout leader who's
do.
older and more wise?
I do. And I have a magic compass right here that always points in his direction.
Hold on,
And I'm just trying to get back to him.
I'll ask the important question for Rhoda. Is your leader single?
Yeah,
Okay.
he is.
Hey, there you go.
In fact, he seems to have no interest in women at all. Which way does your compass point, young man?
Well, that's what led me here. It's pointing right at this waterfall.
Oh boy, that's probably not good.
This waterfall.
Well,
Lots of people drown in this waterfall, my friend. Hey,
well,
buddy.
I've gotten to know this waterfall pretty well, and I don't think it's a half scout leader. It just didn't give me that
I'm glad that
impression.
we cleared that up. Excellent.
Gilf just stares at Rhoda.
Did you know there's murderers?
Yeah.
I heard that the group that murdered the king, queen, and maybe even the princess of Naporia are here in this very dungeon.
That's so funny.
Yeah, wouldn't that be so crazy if you were talking to them right now? Wouldn't that be crazy if that was us?
That would be really crazy.
Pimwan?
Pimwan.
Pimwan.
Yes.
Can you just give us un momento, por favor?
Sure, I'm going to look at my compass.
Okay, cool. Cover your ears while you do that. So
Earmuffs, Pin One, earmuffs.
I don't know how much we should be telling this guy, this little boy, or anything about us. Like, he obviously knows that there are dangerous people, and I don't know who he works for or who he's with. I think we all need aliases.
Yeah, aliases. I'm right with you.
Aliases.
I'm sorry, did you all kill
What?
What?
the royalty as he has said?
Yes.
Hey, Bellegarde, can we get 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Just
Plug your
hum whatever ditty that you want to do.
Okay, yeah, please.
Earmuffs.
For more information about the show, follow us on Twitter at The Dungeon Rats, or follow me at Vartian or at Godsfall DC. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an issue with some of our sound recording and lost a chunk of the gang in Ani. So you'll hear me cover a bit as narrator to set up what Queen Phryane and Lord Haldir have been up to. So with all that out of the way, let's get on with the show. My name is Aram. Welcome back to Godsfall. Godsfall is a custom Dungeons & Dragons game that is played and recorded in Washington, D.C. and written and produced in Chicago.
Hi, my name is Steven. I'm playing the 5th level Dwarf Paladin, Torrvic Wildtongue.
My name is Doug, and I'm playing Dorro Knott, 5th level Halfling Rogue.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm playing Xion Praeten, the 5th level Human Sorcerer.
Hi, my name is Kelly, and I'm playing Rina and Falaval, a 5th level Wild Elf Ranger.
Hello, my name is Joe. I am playing Lord Haldir, a level 5 High Elf Warlock.
Hi, I'm Kay. I'm playing Queen Phryane Itinewith, the 5th level High Elf Bard.
Previously on Godsfall.
You are in Port Bliss, and you are on the docks. We must be careful here. The Queen is very well known. Caitlin, stay close. Do not get separated. She's like, okay, yeah, I can do that.
We need to get horses.
All right, so you're marching on the docks, and the Queen is coming behind you.
I'm leading them to a quiet
Flophouse.
Thank you.
What you see is a flag you recognize. And right down at the end of the docks, a good 200 yards that way, is absolutely a ship bearing the markings of Baron Leflure.
Leflure! You know where I'm going.
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
Where do you want to appear on the ship?
We have oinkers. Oinkers could be a bird.
Right.
And
that's a good
signal.
idea. You follow them, and then when you find out when they stop, send oinkers to come get me. and then I'll follow him back. And I'm gonna take a look on the ship. For 14.
Yeah, no. A little blade shoots out and nicks your finger. Take 1 point of damage.
And roll Constitution,
And
you're about to fall
roll
asleep.
Constitution.
7.
Okay, so you're like, okay, all right, I am focused. I am out cold. And you just kind of fall to the side. Your little body slumps down to the side. There's about a dozen people in robes, crimson robes, that are in a circle around this central area. They're just kind of kneeling in a half moon, praying kind of towards the center of the room, it looks like, or a huge tub of some sort of boiling caustic acid, and there are just gigantic shards of Godspark stone that begin to glow brightly the second they're rolled into the room. Your heart kind of skips for a second, but they don't seem to react to it as if they expected this to happen. And a second later, you see it. Have you ever seen Grabby Hands? You never.
No.
Okay, a second later,
She's
man.
seen, however, Baron Leflure, and
Right.
she's seen Tiago Reese.
Right. So a man with long white hair and these kind of golden eyes that glimmer with the same gold as the paint on, or whatever is encompassing the hands of these crimson robed figures. You also see a second figure that you clearly identify, the one that you knew as Tiago Reese. Some little crackles, like some kind of like little sparks of energy flowing through Cyril. And you could also see little sparks of energy beginning to arc out from this battery. A spark fires off the Godstone and hits the grate right in front of you. Just one. But then there's a second one. And Tiago kind of sees that one, looks over, and starts to walk towards the grate.
Back up the rope.
Roll stealth and then roll climb.
Oh, for God's sake.
Stealth is 29.
Okay.
And what'd you say, dexterity for climbing?
Yes,
Bad time
please.
to roll a 1. Really bad time to roll a 1.
Don't say that. I told you not to say it.
This is a bad time to roll.
What have I done? I'm so sorry.
You quickly and quietly begin to climb up that rope, and you checked everything about this. You tied that rope down well,
was
you
like 20
secured it
something
well,
pounds.
but what you didn't notice is the little plate. It's a metal plate that they would use to clamp that chimney off and clamp it back on, and your rope the entire time was resting right on that plate, and that's got a sharp edge. So you get about halfway up and fing, it cuts your rope clean in half, and you are now falling 15 feet. I would like a reflex save.
Dexterity.
All right, like a dexterity save.
I feel like this is my fault.
13.
13. Okay, you throw your arms out and you are just able to stop yourself from falling, but just a huge amount of ash and clumps of black are slammed behind, underneath you. An entire brick comes out of the side of the chimney and just clatters to the ground. Dust explodes out from it and fills the room. You can hear some coughing, and they're shouting, and already to the roof, as people are coming in. And you can also see people like starting to shove torches into the furnace underneath you. Hold right there.
I fell asleep.
You wake up and you are flying. Okay. You are above the warehouse that you were in before. So you're above that same
Is she
warehouse.
carrying me or am I riding her?
You are now like, okay, I want you to roll perception.
18.
Yeah. So you, and there is a large pink eagle with its talons gently wrapped underneath both your arms, who is now circling over this warehouse and cawing at you as you're looking down.
I cross my arms and sigh. Fine.
Okay. As you're doing that, you see an explosion of soot fire out of the chimney, maybe 10 or 12 feet into the air, and right after that, a jet black coughing elf that looks awful lot like Rita comes stumbling out of it.
What are you doing?
The front door bursts open and a dozen men charge out with, actually 6 men that look like dock workers charge out with swords, and 6 men dressed in crimson robes with gold hands burst out as well, and they begin to circle around the building as others are climbing up it.
I immediately say to Oinkers, drop me!
Okay, you're
So let's
about
go?
20
Okay, good.
feet.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I look over to her. Is she gonna look at me as I'm dropping?
Perception. Tunnel.
21.
21. Okay, I'm sorry. Roll again. You got to roll with disadvantage because you are just
Lucky. They're both 18.
Yeah.
They're both 18s.
Awesome.
So it's whatever.
All right. So you're just coughing, but you hear the caw, and you look right up, and boom, you do see a pink eagle carrying a halfling.
Well, dropping
a halfling.
And I just go,
I'm sorry. You look up, see a pink eagle, and you look at it for a sec, recognize who it is, and then the eagle just lets go, and there's like, yeah, a little halfling.
I'm not trying to land at her.
No, but flying down.
I'm trying to fall in front. The objective was to get them away from this, and I'll draw attention and leave.
No one understood that. So she has dropped you towards her. Because
Okay, well, now I'm going to go to her and tell her what to do.
So are you teleporting on
Sure.
stuff? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport
roll
to her.
dexterity because you just got flung from an eagle.
20.
Natural 20.
You can't just do things, Doug. You can't
20.
just have
natural
things
20.
happen. Okay, so
Natural
you're able to teleport perfectly, do a little barrel roll, and appear right in front of her.
Just follow Oinkers. I'm going to distract them.
Oinkers has already landed behind you now.
Good.
And
I point.
and is turned into a pig and is like, what? And now people are coming up over the edge.
They've got secret stones inside. Really huge secret stones.
Turn to Oinkers. Take her to Torrvic.
Okay, Oinkers is now kind of turned and is seeing, because you guys are now surrounded, so you have to roll initiative. I mean, as you've been trying to explain this, people are climbing the roof.
25.
What'd you get, Rina?
24.
I'll put the men all the same, and they got a 14.
Oinkers,
Oinkers is a 7. Oinkers is very confused right now.
All right, first to act is Dorro.
I touch both of them to teleport them away.
Roll a wisdom for concentration on this one.
10.
Yeah. Okay, so where are you teleporting? Or where were you trying to teleport?
The next roof.
You're a little high. So, 20 feet up. Roll reflex saves, everyone.
11.
Dexterity.
Sorry, dex saves.
11. Oh, wait, no. A save?
Yeah.
Oh, 13.
13. Okay, you both fall pretty hard. You land better.
Okay.
You take... Yeah, it's like you kind of hit your side a bit, and you take 2 points of damage that knocks the wind out of you. Oinkers just turns into, I don't know, a little pigeon. Just and lands. So there's people over on the other plate swarming, looking around, trying to find things. As they're doing that, Cyril has now stepped out along with Tiago Reese, and they are scoping
Are they, like,
the
still
warehouses
kind of-
around. There's a sparkling energy going through his eyes. Yeah.
Okay. I turn to Dorro and I go, probably shouldn't fight them right now. Super powerful, god thing, not cool. And then,
Standing advice.
is it like a flat roof or a pointed roof?
It is it's sloped towards the river, so runoff would go down towards the river. I mean, ocean, I guess. So they're all kind of sloped at a slight angle this way.
Okay, but like if I got onto a side of it, they would be able to see.
You could easily be on this side of it and be out of their...
Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know what the plan is yet, so I'm just gonna over to the other side, so I'm at least hidden.
Roll stealth.
I'll show to Oinkers to
Oh,
follow.
right behind you. Oinkers thinks you have a good plan.
21.
Yep. Oinkers is like, turns to a ferret. little pink ferret just flattened against the roof line.
Okay, men.
They are fanning out and searching. Torches lit and are just like searching, shouting at each other and beginning to spread out.
And that includes Grabby Hands and Tiago.
They're sticking around
And the priests.
the building.
Okay.
But the two of them are sticking together and they're whispering and like talking to each other as they're moving, but they're sticking close to each other. What do you want to do?
They're very, very lucky that Pera and I are not there. Okay, Oinkers.
Well, Oinkers is just doing what
Okay,
she's
then
told.
Dorro.
Oinkers is sticking right next to Rina.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Okay, so I'm going to quietly lead them to that flop house.
Excellent. Okay, so that's pretty easy. I mean, they're searching, but you guys were hidden pretty well, and just quietly withdraw.
Team Fire.
Team Fire, which has now become Team Volcanic Cannon, apparently. And you have been blasted, again, a good 30 feet away from Pera, who has turned into just a white-hot nova at this point. It would be difficult for you to approach him. The fire is still retreating, so whatever he's doing is saving the fire, but next round there's going to be a 200-foot ash cloud that's going to descend on everything around him, including orcs that have not gotten out of the way yet.
I'm going to attempt to make a slanted force wall, so that the ash will just
right into the river.
Yeah.
Roll wisdom.
9 altogether.
Okay, well, you're able to create a wall. It's not quite at the angle you want, and the ash is not sliding as fast as you want, and it is hard to hold. So, let's see how long you can hold this up. 24 points of damage on that thing.
Okay, I have 3 left.
Okay, so you are already, the weight of it alone has now buckled you to your knees. About half of it has sloughed off into the water as it fires up boiling steam, but there's still a good amount. You have to hold it for at least one more round.
Okay.
I see him struggling. I just start sprinting as fast as I could.
Torrvic just turns into a cheetah, and there's a burst of speed, and then at the very last minute back into Torrvic, and you just feel big furry arms wrap around you. Roll again with advantage.
10.
Oh, come on.
You're both strong, you're both there, and then it just caves. And now there's hot ash coming down on both of you. I need reflex saves. Dexterity saves. Lot of buzzers this time.
6.
Okay, hang on, Pera. 3. No, he doesn't even react as a giant ash cloud descends upon both of you, and both of you take 6, 14, 24 points of damage and are choking and sputtering and blind.
After the burst of energy from the Union shook the island kingdom of Ani, Queen Phryane set out to calm her people while Lord Haldir Loran met with his grandmother aboard one of the elven fog cutters. She informed him that she would be returning to Ryland that evening, but that he should stay and offer whatever assistance he could to the new queen. Her powers grow to match the city she rules, my child. Do not underestimate her. Upon returning to the throne room, Phryane was beset with requests from her advisors about the High Harvest Festival the following day. With much annoyance and trepidation, she finally agreed.
I was very resistant.
Yep, for good reason.
From now on, you'll be advised to never leave the palace.
Yep.
That evening, Lord Haldir Loran was contacted by his benefactor and told to expect a trio of assassins the next day. They would assist in his quest to kill Queen Phryane and claim her city for himself and for Ryland. The following morning was bright and clear. A crisp autumn wind blew down the canal of Ani as the first hints of autumn played among the leaves of apple trees in the royal gardens. Queen Phryane arrived in the central ring of Ani by royal yacht, well guarded by her most loyal servants, and had all but the essential personnel cleared from the temple. It had been some time since she stepped foot in this open-air cathedral dedicated to the first god of man. Towering marble arches of pure ivory reached 100 feet into the air, supporting nothing. More ivory led a path underfoot as 6 of these walkways connected to a central spoke that held a large cistern of water continuously turning a solid marble sphere some 50 feet in diameter. A magical protection of a god-sized Zavan loomed overhead, his massive legs planted on either side of the great canal. As the ceremony began, the projection of Zavan leaned down to touch the central sphere as it had done every year since his death. The queen took her position, and Haldir was signaled by one of the 3 assassins, each dressed as Zavanite priests, or perhaps even were priests. The Lord of Ryland had precious little information to go on. As the phantasmal hand descended and extended a finger as long as a blue whale, the image of Zavan suddenly vanished. A red light washed over the temple, and a series of horns sounded an alarm. 4 stone slabs at the north, south, west, and east ends of the temple slid open and revealed stairs descending below. A minute later, a trio of golden golems emerged and charged towards Queen Phryane. The assassins, who only moments ago were set to murder the queen, now took it upon themselves to defend both her and Lord Haldir, who, after witnessing the non-magical weapons of the city guard prove useless against the constructs, summoned his pair of magical lionesses. While Phryane and Gringle retreated to the Queen's royal carriage, Haldir and the assassins stood their ground, managing to fell one of the massive constructs while the other 2 toppled into the canal. At first, the battle seemed won, and then the water in the canal began to lower.
But 3 golems were released, and then there was apparently a Kadarian golem strike team that just happened to be there, but they're defending you and seem to be listening to him, so whatever.
Until the water started going down.
Right, and you're making a run for the palace.
Right. You still control the tier of Cedo and can raise the water, but you'll have to fight it constantly. And that's where we are.
Yep, and making a run for the palace.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Fuck you, city.
I'm a little pissed at it.
Fair enough. Okay. That's fair enough. The ungrateful city.
Ungrateful? Yeah, actually, you know what? Where's your fucking boat? Let's just go.
There you go.
Deal with it.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Phryane out.
That's right. Drop the mic and leave. Fog Cutter's home.
Sorry, Annie. Like, I tried, but what's the name of the place where you can buy power?
Oh, Rizon.
Yeah, let's just go to Rizon.
Let's go to just buy it. Just buy it.
So, Joe, where were you? Where was Haldir?
He's taking me to a ship so we can go buy Rizon.
Well, I was across the canal. So let me see your.
Okay.
She ran down here around to get to the carriage.
Yes.
I am still on this side of the river. I was with this golem there. Yeah. And with my people, one of whom I sent into the bowels of the city.
Correct.
If you remember that.
Here's the temple. Here's one of the golems that is down right now. He's like on the ground, like going with
like a turtle.
Yeah, like a turtle, with all of his Kadarian forces like surrounding it and him. And then
let's not go to Golem Fest.
And then there are 2 golems in the.
No, it couldn't turn out worse than Turtle Fest. So.
No, there are 2 golems in the sinking river, and then we're across the river here in the carriage. And then there are buildings over here. Okay. The palace is that way, and the exit from the harbor is that way. Okay.
Michael's listened to every episode
several hundred times.
Right, so he literally, all the canon is baked in. I just had to turn to him, and he was like, nope, this is exactly how that went. These are all the names.
I'm that kind of nerd.
Yep.
Yes.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
I've listened to parts of some episodes.
I appreciate that. I understand there's always going to be a limit.
Well, I kind of like being a continuity editor, like, and I do this at my work too.
Right.
You know? So like it's.
And someone's going to pay attention, otherwise it all falls apart.
I hate it when things like, just like, oh, let's just sort of make this up, and then it doesn't make any sense in the end, like.
She didn't get into the cock-a-doodie car.
Right, exactly.
Like, have you ever seen Misery?
No. Oh, Misery?
Yeah,
no,
the movie? Yeah. No, because it came out like when you were 2, right? Yeah.
Actually, probably did come out about when he was 2.
Yeah.
I was born in 1992.
It's a good horror movie.
Yeah, then I think you were probably about 2 when it came out.
Okay, now I have to find out.
I'll find out. You focus on whatever it is you were doing.
Thank you. Find out when Misery came out. I'm going to find a map.
That's a Stephen King book, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
I always wanted to read the book.
Remember
I didn't realize it was a movie.
books were Joe or books?
I do.
Oh, no.
I'm very.
Joe
I have been acquainted.
is older than Misery. By 2 years.
2 years?
Exactly. So 2. Yeah, he was 2.
Older than the
No,
novel,
I'm sorry. I can't do math. Joe is younger than Misery. Misery came out in 1990.
The book or
the movie?
God.
You were born in 92?
I was born in 92. I am 24
my God.
years
I would
old.
have graduated high school in 94.
No.
If I had graduated high school.
Misery, the book, came out in 1987.
That's older than my older brother.
Enjoy your youth.
When Joe and I were talking about
do enjoy my youth.
Stranger Things, Joe was going on about the hair and the cars and this and that. And I'm like, Joe, it's not a period piece. That's a Datsun.
And
so
he's
what
off.
are you determining to do?
So the water is falling, correct?
The water's lowering, yeah. Yeah.
So I would theoretically like to correct that. Not
That's
even
sensible.
theoretically, I would like to correct
Sure.
that. Are the lights still strung up?
Oh, yeah.
And they run the full length of the city, right?
So they run alongside the entire canal. So all the way down both sides and then around the edges.
Okay.
Miles and miles of it.
What I would like to do is focus from where I am.
Sure.
Focus on the tier of C2, channeling that line of thought along the string of Godspark lights.
Gotcha. Basically, kind of thinking about you're connecting to the bridge and hopefully maybe using the structure that's powered by Godspark energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
To serve as a conductor.
Roll will.
Smart idea.
Okay.
Not will. Roll
Wisdom.
Roll wisdom. Yes, thank you.
19 plus 2 is 21.
Absolutely. So as you are rolling it, so you're in the back of your carriage. Like go, and the carriage just take off and just kind of.
I haven't ordered it to go yet.
Oh, I think it already gone.
No,
you're just
we're
sitting
sitting in
there.
the carriage.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're just like focused on this energy. Now there are.
Because I don't know where I want to go or what I want to do.
There
'Cause I
is
need
a
to deal with this.
golem within your eyesight starting to get up, just so you're aware. So
But the strike team's still there, right?
they're there, but I mean, they barely got it down, and it's getting back up. I mean, normally when these Kadarian strike teams fight these golems, the golems are restricted somehow. They have their hands padded. They have. I mean, it's supposed to be a sport. This is very different, you know. And
Right.
yeah, you focus and you connect with the tier, and you barely are able to stabilize the water for this round. It is a fight. Like you are just able to control, and you feel like you're going to lose it in a second, and that you feel like the distance is definitely making it harder. What are you doing?
I just want to be very clear.
Yes.
Where are the golems at this point?
Okay, so 2 have gone into
Two are in the
canal somewhere.
Yes.
One of them is on its back.
tied down.
Not tied
No.
down. No. Your forces, your
Yes.
supposed Nightingale guards, what are they called?
Jackdaws.
Jackdaws. That's
So
what they are.
your Jackdaw warriors are surrounding it, as well as a couple city guards, and you, and your 2 lions.
And my 2 lions. And
Yep.
so are they being held down then by my 2 lions?
It just kind of turtled and it's like, "Arr."
You have noticed that when they have swiped them with their claws, the claws bite right into the stone. So while the weapons of now the jackdaws have magical weapons, but while normal, like the other
Yeah,
city,
2 city guards
guards,
over there.
just bouncing right off them, the weapons of the jackdaws do damage, and the claws of your animals do damage. So those lions are able to actually hurt these things.
I think we should roll initiative.
Yeah, we should definitely roll initiative.
Not me. 3.
5 plus 7, 12 for me.
Put the golem at 17.
So
I have no
I-
other NPCs to run.
I rolled a 3. How do I know what to add this to?
Add your initiative to it. Should be at the top.
Yes, so 6.
Excellent.
Kringle, Joe.
My
Friday,
dexterity is
Golems.
13, if that makes a difference.
Yeah.
So I
It's fine.
6
You
for
got
initiative.
But what is the
Jackdaws?
/guards?
Right, that's what I had to roll for. Oh, put them in at 19.
Okay.
Jackdaws are great.
They are. Good thing they were
Well,
there.
they're prepared for this.
Right.
Yep.
First to act are jackdaws, guards, and should we have the lions act with them or act with Joe?
Have the lions act with Joe.
Okay.
And-
And so jackdaws and 2 guards,
Perfect.
2 city guards.
I'm just going to open up the monster manual real quick here.
One golem is turtled.
Oh, we have names, by the way, for the jackdaws. Did I give you names last time?
No, but we don't know
Do we
their
care
names.
about servants' names?
Yeah, exactly.
You're just gods. Die.
So do what you do. Die. Do you want a medal for doing a job?
There you go. Flesh golem. Oh, those are the creepiest. Stone golem. All right. So the jackdaws go first, and the jackdaws are going. One of them, even though they're in the middle of this, gives a quick salute and says, "Sir, you should run," and then turns back to what he is doing. And the three of them are basically trying to stake the thing down. They are pounding stakes into the ground. They have ropes. They've gone twice around its neck and 2 times around its right arm, and that's how much they've got staked down right now.
Okay. 2 city guards that with regular weapons.
Okay. All right. They walk up and they're just like, one is a halberd and just goes boom with the point, boom, bends right up, nothing whatsoever. The other guy is kind of stunned and looking around and looks just terrified. Like literally does not have any idea what to do at this point.
He's not making special forces.
No, he's not. No.
All right, golems.
He'll never be a jackdaw.
Okay, that golem is going to roll a strength roll. Okay. All right. He just rips the right arm, snaps both ropes. There's still a rope around its neck, but it has torn its right arm up and just rolled onto its side and is starting to get up. So in the next round, it'll be standing.
All right, there are 2 other golems, but they're in the water. So I don't know if there's much they can do, but they're heading for, I guess, Phryane.
Yep. Okay. But you guys hear, by the way, like a like underwater over in the canal. Yeah.
Like they're
Little bit of water
like,
displacement.
Like they're thumping against the wall.
It does sound that way, like something is striking the wall. Exactly.
So just to be clear, so her previous action then doesn't count, or
No, it counts. It kept the water at that level. It
Okay.
didn't lower any more. So it's locked at that level.
Okay.
I guess what I would like to do then is like try and just
Maintain the water level.
maintain the water or bring it up, like do some. I mean, in a perfect world,
Bring it back up.
what I would do with the water is like, again, I would like to try my like drill maneuver to like pulverize stone.
That's what you said. You could right now without being too finite with the control, you could certainly increase the momentum because those channels work by channeling water in 2 directions.
Are open.
Yeah, and well, the gates are open at the moment. So if you could maybe get the water to be faster, you might be able to sweep them out of the channel.
Yeah,
But
but
also all the
what
boats
about
that are
all
in
the
there.
But can I do that as like an underwater current
No,
rather than?
unfortunately. I mean, you like if you brought a natural 20, you might be able to separate 2 levels of water, but that's a real finite amount of control over a huge amount of water. I mean, you could sweep a couple boats out with this, but I mean.
So, all right, you know what? Fuck this city.
That's right.
Fuck this city.
There you go.
And fuck these people.
Yes.
I am always trying to make the choice
Yes.
that is minimizing the damage.
Right, yes, you have been.
Trying to save people.
Yes. No one appreciates an effective bureaucrat. No one. No one.
Nobody. It's just like Hillary Clinton.
It is. It's just like Hillary Clinton. All these motherfuckers.
She is good at her job.
Yep.
She
Tirelessly.
is effective at moving policy.
Yep.
And trying to ensure that children without health insurance don't die.
Right. Yep.
But
really noble goals.
But people just are like, well, she's not very likable.
Right, exactly. Why don't you smile more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might be a lizard person with a people skin.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of how I feel. Like, oh, Phryane is a tyrant. Oh, Phryane. No, I'm just trying to keep.
You've actually been a very effective administrator.
I'm just trying to keep a city alive, and all it does is turn on me.
Just turn on you. Turn on you. This is the second time it's tried to kill you.
It is the second time
it
it's tried to
almost
kill
killed
me.
you with the water.
It did.
Well, this is all
close.
Zavon's fault, and not the people of the city who love
This is the patriarchy. It's the
It's
same
totally the
bullshit.
patriarchy.
It's the same bullshit.
Even in our fantasy
Yep.
bullshit world,
Yep.
the patriarchy is still fucking shit up.
Directly fuck with you. And long established patriarchy, after the guy's already dead, is put in place to keep it all locked into the same formula. Yeah, it's super bullshit.
Good thing I practiced my blind.
There are
force.
Yeah, goes to your place, all that blind fighting. They're screaming around you as at least a dozen orcs perish.
You're being very mean.
So do we all have to? I mean, that was half health. Is that a constitution?
Yeah, roll your constitution save.
Nope. 4. Stop making me roll things.
14.
Out cold. You're awake. He'll be dead next round if you don't get him out of here.
So I'll just grab him by the collar and just start running.
I want a constitution and then strength.
Constitution is 67, 18.
Success.
And strength is 18.
Success. You grab him with both hands and rush through this ash. You both take another 3 points of damage. Does it take you to 0?
Takes me to 0.
You need to roll now. You need to roll a save.
Death saving throw.
He needs a death saving.
You just have to
throw.
roll above a 10.
Well,
Yes.
I
You both take damage dragging through. It's ash.
Well, no, I'm saying I thought if someone's
He can
there to
stabilize
stabilize him, he doesn't have to roll.
Oh, you can totally, yeah.
Yeah, it just takes him to 1 HP, but he's out.
Don't even bother. You drag him outside of the ash, coughing and sputtering, and his flesh is bright red and just blackened in some areas, and you watch the last breath flow out of him as his eyes flutter back.
And I'm just doing emergency mode, lay of hands. Everything I have.
All right, how many hit points can you heal someone? All right, you take back 15 hit points. You feel your flesh reknit and crack, and you just gasp as there's a moment where your consciousness seems to leave your body and then is sucked right back into it. And you feel it like slam down with a tremendous amount of force, and you feel this wave of energy almost slam you back from him if you see it ripple along the ground.
Do I need to give you mouth to mouth?
That's okay.
Okay. Fire now all around you, swirling into him, and giant white cracks are now forming in Pera, and he seems to be vanishing into this white light. There is 500 feet of daylight all around. You are fully in daylight at this point.
Okay.
And the orcs are just scrambling backward.
Well, if the orcs are smart enough to know to get away from this thing anyway, then
Everyone's running from this. They've I mean, the fire's now been reduced to almost 20%. It's basically contained to a centralized column.
Okay, well, I'm going to scream out to Pera, Pera, stop! Come back to me!
Aw. Roll
cuteness.
Roll adorable.
Roll boyfriend.
Roll stop killing me.
Wait.
What am I rolling?
Hang on.
Persuasion?
Yeah, it's gonna be persuasion.
I've been rolling terribly today, though.
I know.
12.
Pera, I love you and things.
Right.
There's about 20% of the fire left, and he will be fully consumed next round, as far as you can tell. There seems to be almost none of him left in that light. Whatever is happening, it's like he's becoming it.
But I can still see him. Does he still have a physical? Like, if you were to touch him, would you feel him, or
maybe? I mean, he's in a column of white hot fire at this point. You don't know. The peace orc has come up behind each of you. It is roaring loud, by the way. You have to scream to be heard above each other, and he places a hand on both of you.
Actually, I grab his hand too and say, please trust us. We need your help to calm down Pera. And probably for the first time he's ever experienced this, I direct my divinity towards him.
Okay, I want you to roll will.
Wisdom.
And I
want you to roll wisdom.
And I instinctively grab the guy's other hand or shoulder.
Wisdom.
4.
It's a good time for him to roll a 19.
15.
That's enough. Okay, he gets it. There's big green arms around both of you at the back of your necks, and both of you are just like calm. Very, very calm. And you reach out with your force through the fire and just gently, like 2 fingers, touch the center of what would be his forehead, and then he's there. You actually are able to extend just a little bit of your force field, just enough to wrap around him and give him you're basically holding the energy that is Pera in place to give him form, and 17. He regains form, the last of the fire enters him, and there is an explosion that blows all of you back. Reflex saves.
Dexterity.
Dexterity saves.
Nope.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. You all take 3 points of damage as you're blown about 10 feet and rolling along the mossy embankment. It's not that painful. And when you roll back and bring your heads up, Pera is just kind of like he's in a column of fire, and the column of fire seems to be holding him as it's fading and lowering him towards the ground. He is completely naked, save for that
mithril shirt.
Mithril shirt. It's the only thing that has survived. And I think he had a magical sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sword and that mithril shirt the sword has fallen to its side. The scabbard is completely melted away. Everything on him is gone except for those 2 items. And he just collapses naked in the middle of this field.
All right.
And there's a silence. Okay, so you get back to the inn, and you enter, and Cyrena is at you can kind of see her in the back, right? She's taking a table in the back, and it's her and Josfra, and they're having a meal, and Caitlin's eating with them.
I go to sit down with them.
And they're just very, very, very casually about it, and they nod, and you guys join them, and Josfra nods towards the innkeeper, who nods back at them. He is an old friend. We are safe here. You picked a good place.
I found Baron Leflure's ship in the docks again.
And she kind of looks at you because you're very loud, and she's like, pauses for a moment, and she reaches out and just puts a very, very gentle hand on yours. We should talk quietly about these things.
But don't actually talk quietly because it's a
Right.
podcast.
Exactly. But she says we should talk quietly about these things. And now talks in a normal voice because we can't whisper. Yes.
There was apparently shipment that was on the way to Ani, but got redirected. From what it looked like, they were moving something big into the warehouse that I broke in the first time I ran
off
into
to the
Leflure.
side.
And covered in soot.
Yeah, and covered in soot.
Covered in soot. Yeah.
What did you find at the warehouse there?
And then I relay that whole scene.
Okay, it confuses both of them. They have no idea what that. I mean, they understand that there's a battery, they understand that there's power,
Right.
but they don't know what he was doing, and they don't know what they would do about it. I mean, certainly it's a concern. Whatever he's doing is problematic, but is it something you want to deal with?
If I were there, fuck yeah.
Right, but you're not, and the team is split, and is this a fight we want to fight now?
No.
I'm in. Sleep, 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 sleep. Yay!
No, Dorro says.
Let's get him.
Anyway.
Could you imagine?
She will get there. You keep training her, and she will absolutely get there. She
She's
can walk
gonna
into
be
a
my
whole
little-
ballroom and go sleep. It's clear.
My little sleep ninja.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's going to be, a little sleep ninja. She'll be like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
No,
We're
they're
good.
skipping along, touching people.
Yeah, perfectly
Sleep,
happy
sleep,
about it.
sleep,
Sleep, sleep, sleep, sleep.
I take out a map.
Okay.
Of the area.
All right. You swipe. Sure, great. You
Whatever.
swiped the
It's a map for fuck's sake. There's one somewhere.
No, you swiped it straight from Baron Leflure. In fact, it
down.
says property of Baron Leflure right at the top of it.
And I unfurled
I just want you to dagger through his name.
You do. The first thing you do is take out a little quill and you lick it and you cross out Baron Leflure and you write Dorro Knott.
Dorro So, on this map, I mark off the ring of the old world in
right here,
Palewood Forest.
Yeah.
I mark that on the map and suggest to the group that tomorrow morning we go and procure some horses and see if we can maybe find this ring before we start, and I point to the Ironwood, making our way to this forest to figure out how I can get all of us back to the others.
That is a long time to be away from the others.
Do we really have any other option?
Yeah, I would be open to any other plan that you have.
It is just that can we get a message to them in the meantime?
I have
Stares and
I mean,
winkers.
maybe.
Okay, everyone. I imagine everyone at the table would just like roll eyes towards Oinkers, and Oinkers just is just like been a little bird pecking at like little crumbs on the table, and then looks up. Like, oh, yeah, I can do that. Sure, tweet, yeah, there and back. And she's like a peregrine.
So if we give her a note.
Right? Yeah, I don't have any of these types of things. So
What is the fastest? Like, I'm sure. I think it's a peregrine, but let me just. Fastest
It's a fantasy
bird
in the world of gods.
No, fair enough. But I'm just curious how. I mean, I didn't even know how fast a
it's
bird
the
could
Aram
fly.
Dingo. It is
242 miles an hour. Okay, yeah. They have an average speed of 105 miles an hour. I think this will work.
Should be great.
Yeah.
Should be a great messenger bird.
So in an hour, they can go about this distance. So.
Okay, well then, yeah, couple
1,
days.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
How
7.
does she know where we are, though?
Because she knows where you are.
Yeah.
She knows
She always knows.
exactly where you are. She always knows precisely where you are.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, can we ask Winkers on a map where Torvik is right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Winkers, do you know where Torvik is?
And she goes over and she pecks right at out just outside the village. Flatrock.
Okay, I ask her, can you feel if Torvik's okay?
And she kind of closes her little bird eyes for a second, and she opens them real quick, and she looks concerned, but then she nods.
Okay.
So obviously she just knows that Torvik was injured, but that he's all right.
Grievously.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Near death.
We're gonna need a little resting time.
Okay, so I pull out a piece from my journal, a piece of paper from my journal, and then I handed it to Rina because she probably have the best way of mapping this all out.
She was already reaching for it.
Yeah.
And she just writes. You're either of you gonna try and see what she's writing?
No.
I'm looking.
Okay, all right, roll perception.
I want to see what she's putting down.
I
9
dealt
or
with the others.
20.
I have separated the others and taken control of this small bird, unbeknownst to them. Send all the knives. Sincerely yours, the evil Queen Cyrena.
Phryane is doing exactly what I told her.
Queen Cyrena. She's just writing, and in very careful wording. We are having a lovely time in Port Bliss. Cannot wait to see you. Hope all is well in the south. S. She's very careful and rolls it up. Ties it onto her leg, I guess.
Messenger time.
Right? Ready to
Salute.
go. Yep. Salutes with the wing, little teeny tip of her hat.
I say
and
be safe, and
puts
I feel like
a-
there's probably there'd probably be like an elven be safe kind of like traditional thing, and I would do it. I do
exactly. Walk with
Yeah.
safety, my
Walk-
friend, or
walk
whatever.
through the trees with safety or something, you know?
She kind of like hops up. She kind of hops up onto your shoulder, leans in, and nuzzles you a bit. You
Yeah.
guys made a little bond, and then she's gone. Just gone. Yeah.
Be back soon.
Yeah.
She's got her own theme music playing in her head.
104 on average.
I've only ever seen them like dive really
That's
fast.
when they're good. I think
And
that's
it's
when
like-
they hit 242 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean,
can't imagine a bird flying forward that fast.
I'm just gonna assume she can go 100 miles an hour the whole time there.
That's 7 hours. She'll be there in 7 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
By the time you guys wake up, she'll be there.
Speaking of which, you guys are currently being helped. So there are orcs all around you. They have helped you onto
gurney.
stretcher, right? And you are now being cared. There are salves being applied to you, and they stink to high heaven, like just like if swamp.
Are they tracking dust?
No.
The other godling looks at you.
Hold up here.
Before you start rubbing this stuff all over me.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Fool me once. Okay,
Yes.
so perception of 19.
Yeah, you've heard of these. Basically, they're adding, there's these roots, and it's been knocked down, and it's been mixed with swamp water. You have heard of these shamanistic, healing non-magical ways that they have. The orcs are very, very familiar with everything that they have access to. And this is not, while unpleasant, it is definitely soothing. Your burns are already being soothed. You guys already feel better. I would like you all to take 4 points of health back, and you feel calm, and you are being carried towards the village of Flatrock.
Guys, you made friends. Good job.
Yay.
You sort of kind of saved
lost
them
our
in
lives in the
quotation.
process.
I mean, that's a day in
As
the
is
life of a
often.
god.
Yeah, it's often the case with a hero.
This one was very, very close, though.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Now it is. I think you're the first person to ever die, pretty much.
Well, not god, but
Came close.
Yeah.
For a
close
second.
call.
Just for a
And
quick second.
Para almost reached apotheosis.
Yeah, that was almost real bad.
So,
By the way, he is on a stretcher as well, and he is still out cold.
Oh, I would
just
suspect.
he's breathing, but it's slow and shallow, and he is
We just
out
need to
cold.
sleep. It's not late anyway.
Yeah. Walking alongside you is that one orc, and he talks. Do any of you speak orc?
Nope.
Okay, so he is speaking back and forth to orc with several people. There are people coming up. There's a lot of concern. Not any anger, not any hostility, but a lot of concern.
Well, I would think so. They just
Being
saw
directed towards
three-
them, and a lot of talking back and forth, and a lot of reassuring, it seems like, from the orc.
Does he
of
look like
peace.
he's the one in
Keep the
charge?
peace. Keep the peace.
No, he's young. He's
Okay.
definitely not in charge. He is showing deference towards other orcs, but he's also doing it in a way of like, don't worry, trust me on this. That seems to be what he's saying to everyone who comes up to me. Just, yeah.
Fools!
Yeah.
You don't know the time.
Right, and you are you're basically brought into a large hut. Well, there is kind of an A-frame going up, and then a large rectangle cut into the ceiling that is open to the sky above. There's an equal rectangle, a fire pit right below it. There are a lot of people pouring water onto it, filling this room with, just basically a spa. Not quite as thick as a spa, but like there's definitely a warmth in this. There's a wet warmth in this room. There's a comforting.
I think we're done with warm for a little while.
Well, I mean, this is how they treat the wounded. So they are putting you in beds of moss that is living, and they are applying more of this stuff on you. You're basically kind of in it. It's kind of like entombed in it. It's gross. It's disgusting. But
I'm loving every minute of it.
Right, you're fine.
Rolling
It's
around.
very, very soothing. Take another 3 points back, and you'll continue to take health back per hour while you're in these. So by the time you wake up, you should be okay. You feel like you'll be
If we
fine.
have a full rest, it should.
But this will help too, because it's like, burned. It seems
You have
ridiculous to
burned.
sleep
Like,
it
they
off.
didn't-
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna sleep it off?
Absolutely.
All right. So
It's been a
you're
long day.
all out cold.
Oh yes.
All right.
I have plans.
Grab some food and.
I'm gonna.
No, you're gonna be fed well.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
pour
that.
my dwarven ale and
There
give some
is
to the.
there is a celebration yet to be had, my friends. You are the saviors of the village. You're gonna get what you want, Michael.
We're gonna enjoy the rest of our dinner. And then go to bed.
Yeah, you guys are brought a lovely dinner. It's been actually kind of a nice evening for you guys. Sure, it's a little scary for a
Finally.
while, but boy, what
You
a
guys
nice,
are just sneaking around,
Yeah, it's
hanging
a nice,
out.
quiet evening. You're enjoying a wonderful meal. Josra and actually Cyrena seem to relax a little bit. They trust their environment. They're still keeping eyes on the door and watching who's coming in and out. But whoever the proprietor is, whoever the people who work here, they're very clearly loyal, and they seem to be keeping an eye out for them. So you guys can kind of relax a bit. Anything you want to do while you're in town?
Nope.
All right. Well, then you have a lovely meal and are brought to a private chamber. And the queen has her own. You guys have one next door, but there's also a door in the center, so you guys could reach each other's rooms.
Is the what's her face also in this? There was Cyrena.
It's Cyrena and Josra in one
Okay.
room, and it's the three of you in the other room.
Okay.
And there's a bed for each of you. There's like 2 real beds, and then there's like a smaller cot. And Caitlin will take. Well, I guess you'll
I'll take the small
I'll
cot.
take
I have
the
like
smaller
trans.
cot.
Oh, that's right. You're just gonna
I
sit.
would take the smaller cot.
Well, yeah, you are smaller, so never
I'm the
mind.
smallest person
Okay,
here.
fair enough. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Plus,
So
you're used to this kind of sleeping anyways. Never
Right.
mind.
Wait,
Before I go to sleep, I'm gonna do something. So.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Okay, so before, like, they're gonna pass out, right?
Yeah.
I still find sleep to be a very interesting and weird thing because
Yeah.
I do not sleep.
Right.
And so at this point, I'm gonna pull out my journal and I'm gonna just start doodling Caitlin
Okay.
sleeping, like because
Right.
I find it to buy.
That's not going to be creepy to find later.
Right.
Oh, look at all the drawings you've made of us sleeping.
I've been planning this for months.
Oh, that helps.
The youngest, smallest
out of
one.
character.
Yeah.
Out of character. I've been planning this for months.
Oh God! So Caitlin's trying to sleep, and Caitlin
Okay,
can't
she's-
sleep because this one is snoring so badly. And finally, she just like sits up, and she's like, "Dorro," and you don't respond, and she's like, "Just sleep," and then you're like, instantly stop snoring, and you enter a
So I'm
deep
watching this happen?
REM sleep, and then she falls back to bed and goes to sleep.
Do I see that? Am I
yeah,
still up
oh
for that?
no, you watched that happen. She definitely did something.
Do you see
and then
what
went to
just
bed.
happened?
After-
He was
okay,
like,
when she goes-
do you want to go out on the town? I said, no. Fine, I'll come for you in your fucking nightmares.
No, you go into a very, very deep and very, very peaceful sleep of being on a ship out in the ocean, and you're in the crow's nest, and all your
then a
friends
great
are
beast
there.
came and
Everything's
swallowed up the
great.
whole
No,
thing.
it is a. Remember when you guys were out on the water and all those colors were swirling around you?
Because he was convinced that we were going to get eaten, so
Yeah.
he was hiding in his room.
I was hiding.
But you saw a couple of them. Now imagine being on deck in the middle of the day
I'm
with all
even
those swirling
more
colors.
freaked out now, knowing both that Caitlin could
Okay,
do a
look,
thing
so-
like put you
so
in a dream
when-
world,
when-
You don't-
and now I'm in the experience where before I assumed we were
Well,
going to
was
get
he
eaten
asleep the
and
whole
we
time,
didn't.
so he didn't
and
know. He doesn't know that Caitlin did
you
that.
You were asleep the whole time.
She just put you in a deeper sleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, as
She
far
took you
as
from, like, stage
know,
3
you're
to
just
4.
in a really wonderful dream. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just in a really great dream.
When she does that and she falls asleep, I walk over to Dora and make sure he's still breathing and stuff. Like I check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah. He's in super deep sleep.
Because I've just seen her do weird things, so I'm like.
Right. Yeah.
And then I check her and I.
She's just, she's kind of just curled up in a ball with her blanket brought up around her, looking adorable.
And then go back to dwelling.
All right.
And then I finish that up and then I go to bed.
And you go into your trance mode. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Godsfall. We have maps, character art, and world notes on our website at godsfall.com, as well as links to our Patreon account and Godsfall t-shirts. If you want up-to-the-minute information about our podcast and the Godsfall World Book, follow us on Twitter at GodsfallDC. We also want to take a minute to tell you about our good friends over at battlebards.com who have been kind enough to send us a catalog of all new sounds. They've added undead minions like zombies and skeleton hordes, and the necromancy spells that summon them. Weather like the roar of a powerful wind and the crash of lightning. Enchantment spells like Hold Person and Transfixion. Even the gruff barking tone of a dwarf. So if you want your game to sound as good as Godsfall, check out battlebards.com. That's all from us this week. For notes, maps, and more, check us out on godsfall.com.